Hi everyone, this is just a quick video. We get a lot of calls asking about moving hoists and positioning hoists when lifting people from a chair and helping move the hoist when you're on maybe carpeted floors or you've got a bigger, heavier person that you're actually hoisting. So we'll split this into two little separate sections. The first bit we're going to hoist Mel. We've got her in a sling ready to go. And what you'll tend to see more often than not, we'll bring a big hoist in and we'll bring it in right in front of Mel, ready to hoist up. So I'm going to hoist her in this way just to show you the down sides of doing it like this. So what you'll see, we can connect Mel up there. She's going to help me, she's really good. That's it. And attach the two shoulders. So we attach the legs, attach the shoulders. There's a big gap now between Mel and the hoist. But with all of hoists of this type, which is the majority of hoists, these are pivot lifters and they're going to pivot up and forwards at the same time. They don't lift in a straight line. So as we go up now, we'll just see what happens to Mel and her position. Brakes always off, so it allows the hoist to centralise itself, so if need be the hoist will move. There you go, you can see it moving now. So we get a nice comfortable lift for Mel. But as we start to go up, you'll notice she's getting closer and closer to the hoist. And if we go high enough, we're going to put a knee either side of the hoist bar. Now, from moving point of view now, if I need to turn Mel around to face anything, we're going to have to try and swing her backwards, which is a problem, or we're going to start banging her legs on the hoist. So the really simple way to avoid any of this, if I just put Mel down again, once she's on the chair, so we're back to the starting position now, sling's nice and loose. The hoist is in the same position as it was before, but before I do any lifting, all I'm going to do now is tilt the hoist slightly away from the leg. So this carry bar doesn't have to move. I'll hold it still so you can see it doesn't move. Just by pushing the hoist slightly to the side, so we're not coming in from the side of the chair, we're still coming in at the front, but before we lift the person, just push the hoist slightly out of the way at the back. As soon as we do that and start to lift, you'll notice that Mel's legs then go nowhere near the hoist. And as soon as we're up, we can actually control the position of Mel and make sure. So if you just straighten your legs out, Mel, there's no way she's going to hit the hoist. She's perfectly clear. We don't have to be too concerned, oh my God, she's going to bang her legs on something, and have extra staff members there. And we can go quite high, but Mel's legs are completely clear. So if she was to have any kind of spasm or any kind of seizure, the legs are perfectly safe. The other benefit of doing it this way is if we go back down into the chair, so if we just get her down towards the chair, I can come in at this position and I can be with Mel and I'm not interfering with the hoist. The hoist isn't in my way. I can come down on my knees, I can press down and I can push her gently back towards the chair to position her into the chair, but I'm nowhere near the hoist itself. If we were to do that face on, I need to get between Mel and the hoist to be able to push back straight. So whenever you're using a hoist, a pivot lifter, always hoist at a slight angle. So again, starting from the beginning, we can come in straight, attach everything on, but before we press the up button, we just tilt the hoist left or right, doesn't matter which way, just to create that space for the legs to go just down the side of the mast, as we call this part of the hoist. So we'll move on now and show you some little tricks on moving the hoist with a heavy person or on carpeted floors. Okay, so Mel's disappeared out of the way for me, just to give you a bit of space on the floor so you can see mostly what the wheels are doing really. It's the wheels that are the problem when moving somebody on a carpet. The more weight you add to the hoist, the heavier it becomes, the harder it is to move. The biggest cause of injury to care staff is actually when you try and turn a corner. So if I try and turn the hoist towards you guys on the camera now, it's all in my spine. It's twisting to try and get the hoist to turn left or right. And that's what tends to cause injuries to staff. There's a really quick and simple way to get around this. If I want to turn to the right, towards you guys, put one brake on, the right hand brake, push the left hand side of the hoist, and the hoist will turn itself. And there's no twisting of my spine. If I want to turn to the left, put the left hand brake on, push the right hand side, and the hoist will turn for me, and it takes all the pressure and the stress off my body and puts it all onto the hoist itself. The other issue you sometimes get is when maybe hoisting from a bed. If I push the hoist forward, you'll notice that the casters stick backwards. When I stop and pull the hoist backwards, those casters twist into the carpet. And they twist and get stuck sideways. This can then start to swing. And we sort of get in that stuck position where we have to kind of give it a pull to get it moving again. The same as if I stop now and go forwards, they go sideways, and then we end up having to kind of push to get the hoist moving again. That is more prevalent the more weight we have and the thicker the carpet. So the quick and easy way to do this, if you're going forwards and want to change direction, we go sideways and backwards to create a circle with those casters. So if you notice the back wheels now are going round in a circle and they never get stuck in the carpet. So when we're hoisting from the bed, we push the hoist under a bed and stop. Before we lift a person, take the back of the hoist and make a quick circle motion with your arms. That will then change the casters to face forwards, which means literally with 2 fingers we can move the hoist backwards away from the bed without all this sort of pulling and jerking, trying to get the hoist to move, because the casters aren't doing that, getting stuck in the middle and the swinging of the carry bar. So under the bed, quick circle, lift the heavy person, and the hoist will just come back in the direction that you want to go in.